All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday morning. May God bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. As Bitcoin is struggling right now to get a little bit of a bounce right from the long trade setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. And of course, I let everybody know when I took the trade and why I took the trade. Just like we give the setup in advance and let everybody know where we take the trade. Just like yesterday, where we gave the setup in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, and then live during the VIP stream, we took the trade live, man. We don't just talk about it. We take action in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where in real time I said, I'm gonna take a long. I'm gonna go for a long here. And you can see, long trade was given literally from the bottom of that dump. We locked in a juicy profit. And now we're back at it again, guys, in another long. And the question is, are we gonna bounce from here, or is there more pain ahead? By the way, if you want to join the best trading community in the world, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the community where myself and 3 other instructors are doing live trading 3 times a day, giving you their plans, their levels, their setups, keeping you updated throughout the course of the day and night, because we trade in all different time frames, baby. Also, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, I'm trading on BLOFIN, link in the description. WEEX, link in the description. KSEX, link in the description. Decent exchange. And if you know how to trade but have no money, check out Klein funding. Guys, we have a big giveaway coming up with Klein funding. Get excited, get ready. We're gonna be giving away. I'm gonna leak it. We're gonna be giving away 5 accounts, 5 funded accounts. All right, it's gonna be really awesome. Also, we're gonna be doing tons of giveaways for trading bonuses on KSEX and BLOFIN as well. So we are currently in the trade. You can see I've got about $350,000 on the position right now. I have just hit a little bit of extra TP around this area. Here's the thing, guys. We are coming up to a pretty key zone of resistance. If we can break above, we could see a much bigger push up to around 120.8. All right, this would be our next target. But I'll be honest, I'm not feeling super bullish right now. I feel like more downside is most probable right now, based on a few different factors. Doesn't mean we have to dump from here, all right? Doesn't mean we have to dump from here. I'm still holding my long trade in case of massive pump, and you can see my next take profits actually at a new high, all right? Because if we do start to reclaim 120.8, let's say we come up here, we make a higher low, then yeah, we're going for the high, baby. We're going for the high, all right? So go hard or go home, back to your residence, all right? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Jackson Crawford. Shout out to Artie. Shout out to Cyrus Grayson. Shout out to Crypto Coons holding it down with the wrench. God bless you, Crypto Coons. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Shout out to Nihilist UK. Shout out to Here We Go Again. He can grow hair overnight. You know why I grew my hair overnight? It's because I finally got some rest, man. Honestly, I've literally had millions and millions of dollars. I've bought and sold millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, specifically in the past 5 days. And I'm not gonna say like it's stressful, but it is stressful. It is stressful. It's stressful, not because you're like scared, not because you're scared and you know you're gonna lose a lot of money. It's just when there's a lot on the line, man, it is difficult to sleep, all right? Not because you're looking at the chart, but just you're hyped up. There's something about it. You traders know. You go through those seasons where the market gifts you with an opportunity. I was gifted with an amazing opportunity this week to make lots of money trading, and I took the opportunity, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty burnt out by the end of the week. All right, past 2 weeks have been very intense. We have been nailing these longs in the Casper Crew VIP Discord all month, man. And, you know, this whole move up, basically from $112,000, it's been a gift. It's been a gift. All right, this whole move up. Funny enough, you know, little side tangent, but funny enough, I made more money on this than I even did on this. No, that's not true. This is years ago. Where am I thinking of? This is 2025. Yeah. You know what? I don't even remember where we are anymore. Oh wait, yeah. I made more money on this little move here, for sure, than I did on this move here. Isn't that wild? It's because I was in the zone here. I was in the zone right here, mentally. And over here, I was not in the zone mentally because of things happening in my personal life. I was still trading it, but I didn't have that mental focus to really be in the game, right? So it just goes to show you that you don't need a big move in order to make money. It's really a mindset thing, honestly. It's a mindset thing. Make sure to smash the likes if you like having a good trading mindset, feeling good. And also, make sure to check out the Jason Casper YouTube channel free course, where we give you all the juice for free, baby. Alright? We give you all the juice for free! Alright, let's pop on over to Market Cypher B here and take a look at what's going on. Make sure to smash up the likes. We got about 600 people in the house. We only have about 2 likes. Now, shout out to Trader Geo. God bless you, bro. Guys, make sure to go check out Trader Geo. Alright? All is mine, says Joe Potter. Shout out to Joe Potter. What happened to the $1 million trade? It got closed out for $35,000 profit. It got closed out for $35,000. Yeah, closed it for $35,000 profit. Man, and I'll be honest with you. The profits have been absolutely insane lately. At least for me. So, I'm glad. There's usually one period in every year where I make the most of my money trading. And the rest is just like maintenance mode, you know? Not that I'm losing money the rest, but there's usually for me a period of time every year where I'm somehow just like everything aligns. You have to be in the right game mentally, and it stems from what you do physically, like taking care of yourself, sleeping, eating, all that, and then and of course the market has to give you a move, you know. So let's take a look at this here. I was in a few $1 million trades, man. I was in a few $1 million trades. Yeah, I've been in a few $1 million trades. All right. I took one yesterday, actually. In the Casper Crew VIP Discord. When we got that drop, I took a $1 million trade as well. That one closed out for about a $7,000 profit. Okay, so let's pop on over to the daily time frame here. I think the big elephant in the room right now is El Punto Rojo, the Mexican gangster who has reared his ugly head on the daily time frame. And as we know, we have just had a fake out of Bitcoin all-time highs. Not only have we had a fake out, but as the price is making a higher high, Market Cypher B is making a lower high, and the blue money flow also getting lower over time, resembling strangely Sam Bankman-Fried's upside down crooked man boobs. Now, nobody really knows how he ended up with these crooked man boobs. There's a theory out there that when you're doing meth in the Bahamas, it gives you so much energy that you have to lift weights. But because he owned the largest crypto exchange in the world, he always had to have one hand on the mouse so he could move around and take all your money and give it to his friends. But with the other hand, he did decline, single arm, dumbbell chest presses, and it caused massive amounts of hypertrophy on the left man boob, while the right remains skinny. And as you can see, the price is getting higher as the man boobs are getting lower. And if we take the man boobs and we copy them and we paste them onto Market Cipher B, we can say, man, the resemblance is indeed striking. And it doesn't necessarily look the best, right? Then we come down to our 4-hour time frame, and we're also seeing the price getting lower. The price getting higher as the momentum waves get lower. Then we come to our 1-hour time frame, and we're also seeing upside down Sam Bankman-Fried man boob patterns. Okay. Now on our 4-hour time frame right now, look at the angle of the yellow oscillator here. Look at how it's kind of looks like it's reluctant to cross the zero line, like it wants to do this. All right, that's actually a bearish sign right there. We want to see it curving upwards like it was here. See how it's curving to the right, but here it's curving like inwards? That's not really a good sign. All right, that's really not a good sign. It oftentimes can mean like this right here. It means that we're gonna not necessarily bottom out yet, okay? So, all things considered, with the bearish divergence potentially confirming today, let's just take a look at our sideways range and ask what is most probable. First of all, remember, as traders, we don't predict, we prepare. We don't predict, we prepare. All right? Yesterday, in the Casper crew, we were prepared for both of these bounces, actually. If you're prepared, instead of trying to predict, we capitalized on this move right here. It's like a 1.2% move. And we've also capitalized on this trade bounce right here, like a 1.6% move. And you might say, Jay, 1.6%, that's nothing. I mean, okay. I don't think so. Look, if you're prepared and you can enter with good risk to reward ratios, then you can make juicy profits. All right. I'm up right now. I'm up almost $14,000, $14K, because of those two little bounces right here, okay? Isn't that wild? So what we need to do now is we need to prepare, because if you're not prepared for this type of thing, how are you gonna capitalize on it, okay? So, could the bottom be in here? Yes. Why could the bottom be in here? Well, we have this key liquidity that we made over a weekend, all right? When you form a low on a weekend, oftentimes the market will try and go take that liquidity to stop those people out before reversing. Additionally, if we just take a look at this level, it was a support resistance flip. All right, in fact, if we just draw a horizontal line here, hang on, gotta kill a bee. If we just draw a horizontal line here, we can see it was support, resistance flipped into support. And in addition to this, if we go ahead and we take all the volume right here, we can see that the high volume node of the range is also coming in right here. So essentially, the bullish scenario right now is that we broke out of the range high, and we're coming back to backtest that point of control, and we're going to continue now making higher highs and higher lows. This is our bullish scenario, okay, which is why I'm holding my long, and my take profit is going to be $125,000, all right? Now, the other reality is this. We have the bearish divergences which have formed on the high time frames, and the low time frames at best, in my opinion, look a little ambiguous, right? Just like me when I was in college and I just got my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender intersectionality studies. I looked very ambiguous. People weren't sure what to call me, and it was just a perfect storm for offense and anger, because not only did they assume the pronouns, but they always assumed different pronouns. A cacophony of gender confusion. But because higher time frames are a little bearish and low time frames are ambiguous, we have to understand that we've had a big impulse to the downside. We've closed back down below the value area high, which means, based on the market participants that have been trading Bitcoin since July 10th, anything above this blue line is considered overpriced Bitcoin. And if we come above that line, we need to have a correction to the downside. Now what we've seen here is we've come above the blue line, we've had a correction to the downside, and we're actually changing market structure for the first time since August 2nd, this whole move up from 112. We're seeing a lower low on the hourly time frame here for the very first time. So we've basically had a fake out. We're back inside fair value. We are starting to form bearish market structure on the hourly. And there's bearish signs on all these time frames. So I'd say, honestly, the most probable thing is we come up, we make a lower high somewhere, and then we come back down toward our range low. All right, our range low. Now, this to me seems the most probable. It would also allow us to form a head and shoulders. And it's so funny when people talk about head and shoulders. Really, all head and shoulders is, guys, is a change of market structure, right? But anyway, we would form the head and shoulders. People would get ultra bearish on it. We take the target of the head and shoulders, and it's going to be taking us down towards 112K. So, before we worry about 112K, we have to just look at this objectively and think to ourselves, $115,000 is historic support, right? This was our support right here. We flipped it into resistance right here. Now it's the range value area low. So I'd say it's pretty likely right now, if we see a pump that results in a rejection, that we come back down to the bottom of this entire range. We get a fake out of the head and shoulders, and this is where we get our reversal, coming back to back test key support. You know, when you establish a level of support, and then you have a fake out of that support, when you come back to test it, it's going to act as support again, right? It's just basically like levels of a house. We've established a base here, we've established a floor here, where historically price has found a sticking point. When we're below the level, it's resistance. When we're above, it's support. This also lines up very nicely with a classic ABC correction. We have our big impulse, that's our A. We get a retracement, B. And then we come down for another leg, C. And then we get a reversal. Now, I also just feel in my soul, and I could be wrong, like, trust me, I could be wrong, but this move up so far has a very corrective feel to it. It does not feel like a real bounce. It does not feel like a higher low in an uptrend that's going to result in a big pump. It's been a long, slow, grueling move with ambiguous signals. After a huge impulse like this, it feels like it's a retracement after a big impulse, and then we're going to see another move to the downside, okay? Now, the bottom of this range is very key. We're talking around, and it's a zone, all right? If you're in the Casper crew, you know the exact levels, and if I take along from any of those levels, I'll let you guys know, like I do in the Casper crew. When I'm taking trades, I let people know. Not because it's a signal, because I don't give signals, it's not financial advice. It's confluence for your own dang trading, right? It's confluence for your own dang trading. But I say this would be our next big key support. If we don't hold this support, then most likely I'd say we're going to go for these lows. Now, there are some problems with these lows. All right, it's not the best looking low in the world. It happened over a weekend. Not the best look, right? Additionally, we had a very important zone of support back here at the previous range, okay? Around, I'd say, a 109 to 112. Because remember what that is, 109 to 112, that really is the... Let's adjust it to our current price action here. All right, we'll keep it where it is. We'll keep it right where it is, 109 to 112. This is our support resistance flip from before the breakout down to the value area high of the range. And we never actually came to backtest that, right? I mean, we did just a little bit, just a little dip into the box. So, if we're looking at this now as its own range, all right, let's just look at this as its own range. What does Bitcoin love to do the most? in ranges. What does it love to do the most? What are always the best trade setups? They are a fake out of range highs and a fake out of range lows. We've established a clearly defined high and a clearly defined low. The clearly defined high got stop hunted. Now we're back inside the range, looking like we want to come towards the low of the range. If we come back down below $112,000, we are then going to have a fake out of the range low, potentially, if we see bullish signs on the chart. And then we can pump. And when we zoom out, we'll say, right, a bull flag. Just a normal bull flag. But as day traders, on the 5 minute, it feels crazy, right? But then we look back and we're like, oh yeah, look at that, a bull flag bouncing from key support, just a stop hunt at the lows like normal. So those are the scenarios I'm really looking for right now in the event of more downside. And, you know, could we pump up from here? Yes. Anything is possible, guys. But we got to prepare. Prepare, don't predict. Prepare, don't predict. All right, prepare, don't predict. That's how we do in the Casper crew. When we gave the setup from the exact bottom of this move, all right, remember, we were expecting maybe a lower dip. We were prepared. We were prepared. And when I took the trade, this is not a signal, when I let people know what I was doing, we were prepared. So we were able to get in literally from the bottom. All right, literally from the bottom. Isn't that wild? Right? When we gave the long setup from $100,000, we were prepared. We weren't predicting a drop to 100K. We were prepared. So when the opportunity comes, we get in right from the bottom. We capitalize on that move, right? So we got to prepare for that kind of stuff. And we also got to make sure to smash up the likes because, well, my entire self-worth is wrapped up in how many likes the videos get and how many views. I'm just a slave to the YouTube. How many likes and how many views? You know I'm a slave to the old YouTube. What will happen to altcoins? They're gonna pump, bro. Don't worry, bro. They're gonna pump. Even if the all-time high is in for Bitcoin, alts are gonna pump, baby. Because we've already seen everything we need to see for Bitcoin here. Alts are gonna pump, baby. All right? They're gonna pump, baby. I'll tell you why, man. Alts are straight up streaming to a plunger mode right now. All right? Now, remember, BTC is right now chilling right here. All right? In my opinion, in a bullish market structure, there's nothing ultra bearish about this yet. All right, like not at all. And we've made new all-time highs. We've broken out of the range. I mean, we've broken out of the range. Not only have we broken out of the range, we made even another all-time high. This is the perfect environment for alts to pump. Now look at Ethereum here. Okay, ETH has not been affected as much by this drop as Bitcoin, in my opinion. It doesn't look nearly as bad on the daily time frame as it does for Bitcoin. But here's the deal with ETH. I still am convicted in my soul that this 2-month green dot that we'll confirm in half a month is going to push us up high. I'm convinced that this monthly oscillator has plenty of room for upside here. Like plenty. Look at the monthly chart, guys. And ask yourself, is there anything bearish about this monthly chart? We're breaking market structure. Continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. And we're very close to an all-time high, and we're pretty much holding here very well. So it just makes the most sense. We're going to see ETH hit all-time highs. When we hit all-time highs, I think we're going to see a big move up to 5,500. The one-to-one extension, and then I'm shooting for the 1.618. My plan has not changed at all for ETH. In fact, it's more secure than ever because of the fact that Bitcoin is breaking out of the range. It is holding all-time highs. And even if Bitcoin dumps now and forms a range between 110 and 125, that's the perfect environment. That is the perfect environment for alts to see these big pumps, okay? It's very rare, indeed, to see bottomed out momentum in a bull market on the monthly. We don't see this ever. So, in my opinion, this is very bullish for altcoins. All right, we're seeing it on Link. We're seeing it on ETH. Look at the monthly on Cardano. Look at the 2 monthly on Cardano. Well, we don't have enough data. Look at the 2 week on Cardano. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. A bullish divergence on the 2 week. A trigger wave with increasing money flow. Another trigger wave with increasing money flow as we are bouncing from key fib support, maintaining higher lows and higher highs. This thing is going to pump, man. I'd say we could easily hit $5. All right. And of course, you know, one of my favorites. Yeah, here's the thing. These small moves do not affect the big time frames. All right, these small little moves. When in doubt, zoom out. AVAX, man. Plenty of upside. At support. Bullishness out the wazoo. Bullish market structure. 4-year triangle, which looks like a massive bull pennant. All right. Looking juicy as all get out. As all get out. Another one that's looking really good right now is Litecoin. Litecoin also in a 4-year triangle. Once we break above 130 bucks, that's the value area high of the last 4 years. We could easily break out of this triangle with a target of about $570, which is not that crazy at all because it's only 50% higher than our last all-time high. So that's really not that much. But right now, from where we're at, that is about 400% gains on Litecoin. Litecoin, a sleeping giant. Litecoin, very similar to Bitcoin in its fundamentals. I think Litecoin still has a future, guys. I think because it's so similar to Bitcoin, fundamentally, and because it's so much cheaper than Bitcoin, it's going to garner a lot of interest from people because there's a finite supply, just like Bitcoin. It's the proof of work, just like Bitcoin. It's basically based off Bitcoin, right? Originally, Litecoin was the silver to the Bitcoin gold until Ethereum came around. But yeah, I think when we see these high time frames bottomed out like this, oh my goodness, like look at the monthly right now on Litecoin. This is just too good to be true almost. So either it's going to be the biggest letdown in all history, or it's going to be the biggest altcoin unexpected pump in all history. And we're going to look back and say, how did we not see it? How did we not see it? And I'll tell you this, you know, myself being in these markets for so long, I've had plenty of missed opportunities where I knew what the oscillator was saying. I knew what the chart said, but I didn't believe it in my heart. I'm like, there's no way. I know it looks bullish, but nah, man, it's too bearish. And then we pump, and I'm like, Jason, you idiot. You saw the chart. You acknowledged it looks really bullish, but, you know, it's bearish. Everyone says ETH is dead. Everyone says there's no alt season anymore. You know? Look, Market Cipher don't lie on those high time frames. All right? The ETH breakout. The ETH breakout. All right? Go back and watch my streams when we were down in this territory of 15, 16, 1700 bucks, where I'm saying this is like the opportunity right now of the bull market to buy Ethereum at bear market prices during a bull market. We were looking at the monthly forming a bottom. We were looking at the 2 week forming this juicy hidden bullish divergence. We're like, man, this is a good opportunity. And then when we confirmed the monthly green dot in June, I'm like, that's it. We're going to get vacuum sucked up to $4,000. And here we are. All right. The high time frame market cipher Bs don't lie. We're seeing a lot of these other altcoins basically being where Ethereum was in May and June. Right? Go and look at these altcoins for yourself. And if you see one that's close to support and it has bottomed out signals and bullish divergences on the high time frames, the monthly, the 2-week, the weekly, the 4-day. Not financial advice, but are you trying to buy, people wait until the pump. People wait until Trump coin pumps and they're like, is it too late to buy? Yes. Yes, it's too late to buy. Go look for things that are beat down, look bullish, and trust the process that we are heading into the last few months of an epic bull run for Bitcoin and crypto. All right, of course, not financial advice. I could be totally wrong. Remember, just remember who you're talking to, right? This is not financial advice. I'm a guy in a treadmill, right? Just because I'm in $1 million trade screaming into a sweaty plunger doesn't mean you should do it too. All right? It doesn't mean you should do it too. All right, so we got over 1,000 people in the house. Let's smash up the likes. Let's see if we... Shout out to Michael Jason. God bless you. Shout out to Mickey. Vamos a la playa. Oh ho 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 ho. Does that mean come to the beach? Yo, no hablo mucho español. Can we check ETH on a low time frame? Yeah, man. Why not? Why not? Litecoin made you a millionaire in 2018. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. Bitcoin did not make me a millionaire in 2018, but it did make me close to a millionaire in 2018. I was a multi-100,000-aire back then. Multi-100,000-aire in 2018. Did not become a millionaire until the next bull run. All right, let's take a look at ETH on the low time frames. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay. So I have to say, ETH looks way less bearish than Bitcoin here. That's a good sign. ETH looks way less bearish than Bitcoin. The number one thing is on Bitcoin, money flow is getting lower. On ETH, money flow is getting higher. All right, yeah, we got a bear div. Money flow thickening. 4-hour, money flow thickening. All right. 1 hour. Money flow thickening at that high here. I guess you could say it does look not the best here. If we're gonna slice it from these highs and say, whoops, the money flow is getting lower. But so far, this is the 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin has changed structure on the hourly. Like Bitcoin took out the previous high or low. ETH has not. Money flow looks much more bullish on ETH. And here's the deal. If we're going to get a pullback here, what do we expect? We expect the back test of 4,000 at the very worst, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking at here for ETH. If we're going to get a pullback, we're most likely just going to take the liquidity here around 4150, stop out these guys, bounce from key support, and then rip up to new all-time highs around $5,500. All right, we're going to maintain the integrity of the larger uptrend, right? We're not going to take out this low here at the POC. We're going to back test our value area high around 4,000 and then shoot up to 5,500. That's what I think based on these low time frames. Let's check out our 24-minute. Sorry, guys. Shout out to John Ploney. Sergeant Squid says the flush out is complete. That would be cool. Can we do a giveaway today? We're going to be doing plenty of giveaways next week, guys. We're going to be giving away money from... We're going to be giving away funded accounts on Klein funding. We're going to be giving away... we're going to be giving away, I think, $2,500 of trading money. And, of course, if we get our likes, we will be doing our regular giveaways. Dab says... Is the 24 minute something special? Yeah, absolutely. The 24 minute is something very special. Something that most traders don't know about, all right? It's a top secret time frame. It's a Jason Casper special. And it's a time frame that I have back tested. It's time tested, back tested, and it's just better than the 30 minute. All right? I don't know why. But my theory is that it's because it has to do with like time when it's divisible by 6. Now I know 30 is divisible by 6, but it's the multiples of the 3. Basically what it is, I have a really bad, it makes sense in my head, but then when I try and say it, it doesn't make sense. People use the 4 hour. All right, what's the 4 hour? It's the 240 minute. We should divide that by 10. It just makes more sense. It's like the metric system versus you know, it's like using kilometers versus feet. Like feet and inches makes no sense. There's 12 inches in a foot. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? So like everything being divisible by 10, it just makes more sense. If you want to see a more clear picture zoomed in, take the time frame you're already looking at, which is the 240 minute, and just divide by 10 to the 24 minute, right? Take the 2 hour that you're already looking at, the 120 minute, and just divide that by 10. Now you got the 12 minute. Take the 1 hour, which you're already looking at, divide that by 10. It's the 6 minute. You know? So, you know, our 24 minute, our 48 minute chart, the 3 minute, these are the charts that give me the more accurate signals. I trust it more. I trust it much more. Shout out to Fad Juan. Yo, Jay, low time frames on Solana. Yeah. Let's check it out. I'm using Sumerian Fibonacci. Yeah, I know. Michael Jason, he didn't know. We were so good at math. I mean, I am just so good at math. You know? Guys, I don't know what the heck is going on right now, but I'm having some serious issues here. Here we go. This is Sol. So, Sol. Swing failure pattern of the high. Back inside the range. Let's analyze this as a local range here on Sol. Okay, so, like, here's the deal. We're coming down to our first support resistance flip. If the market flushes over, this is where we're going to hold support. If this is going to be more corrective, and this is our impulse, our correction, and then another impulse, well, I'd say it's pretty likely we come down to our historic support resistance flip, where we have resistance, support, between the point of control 618 and the 786. This is where I would be looking for a long on Sol, giving us a beautiful long from the bottom of the range. And of course, we would want to see this with some bullish divergences here. I would take this trade with or without a liquidity grab of these lows. Obviously, it's always better to stop some people out and come down to a value area low. But in general, this is the next big zone of support if our bottom is not in. All right. if our bottom is not in. That's going to be between 167 and 176. 167 and 176. MOC says we're going to 116,000. We might, and if we do drop to 116,000, I have a feeling that we're going to come a little bit lower. All right. I feel like yesterday's low, if we had come to 116,000, would have been much better than coming there today. Just because we've already taken that liquidity there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd say it's more likely that we come into the 115s if we're going to get another drop to the downside. But again, it really depends. So, like I said in the beginning, I'm leaning much more towards that this bounce we're seeing now is a correction, a retracement from the impulse down. Okay, my initial thoughts would be impulse, retracement, impulse, and that second impulse, I would expect that we come down towards this historic low, which is also the support resistance flip here, which also would take out all this liquidity. 116, I guess we could come to 116. It's just when you're at 116 and you have the support resistance below you and you have these guys still to stop out, it makes most sense we come down a little bit lower. But it's a zone, and also we do have our macro Fibonacci golden pocket at 116.7. So yeah, we could say in general, the next move to the downside, if we cannot reclaim 20,800 today, is most likely going to be in this box, okay? This is going to be a very important box. We've kind of already gone over this in the beginning of the stream. If we don't hold this box, then we are looking to come down to this area here. All right, we're looking to come down into this area right over here. That's be our next major zone of support. These are the two, in my opinion, the two last swing long trade opportunities for Bitcoin. If you're a swing trader, a high time frame trader, and you're not a scalper like we are in the Casper crew, where we give the setup and then let you know when we take it, and we give the setup and then let you know, let you know when we take it. This one I didn't post it in my Discord. This one we were live during the VIP stream, and I told everybody I'm taking the long. I'm gonna go for a long here. But yeah, if you're not a scalper or a day trader like that, but you're a high time frame trader, these are going to be the levels that you want to mark on your chart, honestly. You know? What is happening to Cardano short term? Consolidation, bro. Consolidation. You know? It's all fun and games until we pump. You know, Hot Tub and Jason on the tube. Life is good, man. Shout out to Preparing for War. May the Lord Jesus bless you, and may He multiply you and your family physically, spiritually, emotionally. And may you be blessed in Jesus' name, bro. You do the hot tub every morning, man? Jake Koff says this beat sucks. It's still a bull cycle. Don't be fooled, folks. Yeah, that's what I think. 109 to 110k for me, says Neckbeard. Yep, these are the levels on the way down, man. These are the levels on the way down, faux show. Faux show, faux show, faux show. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a long here. What happened with the bees? I called an exterminator. They came, and there was a nest in the little tiny area up in the attic. Cause like basically the way my home is set up, upstairs is an attic that we finished. So the house comes to a tip, right? And then we put a ceiling here, a flat ceiling, which leaves a little triangle on the on the top, right? And bees got in that little triangle. So they came and they did something. They sprayed the nest, and so there's still like a few bees around, but mostly they're gone. And there's so many bees I have to vacuum up here. I got stung on the foot the other day. And And by the way, they weren't bees, guys. They were yellow jackets. All right? Completely worthless. Can you imagine if there was an animal that looked just like a cow, except it had no fur? All right? Yellow jackets look just like bees, but they have no fur. All they do is sting. Now, if a bee stings you, the stinger comes off and the bee dies. If a yellow jacket stings you, it just keeps on pricking that thing in as many times as it wants. Imagine if there was a cow with no fur that didn't give you any milk. Yellow jackets are just bees with no fur that don't give you any honey. All right, we got some honeyless, furless bees. Imagine milkless, furless cows out there. All they do is eat your grass and poop. But you can't even enjoy the raw milk. The raw milk that's meant to make a baby calf gain 700 pounds in a year. You can't enjoy those juicy baby cow gains, baby. Man. The naked cow is a strange image, yeah. Shout out to Nathan Katar. Shout out to Yowzer. He says, be careful. Am I going to be live in this afternoon? No, I'm not. I'm not. What do I think of Litecoin being the next XRP? I think that's like comparing apples to microphones, man. Alright, they're not even in the same ballpark. They're not even in the same universe. Alright, Litecoin is a true cryptocurrency. A true cryptocurrency. Just like Bitcoin is. XRP is a fake and gay and drunk token that it doesn't have a fixed supply. They're in bed with the banks, man. All right, they're just trying to be a crypto token that integrates with traditional finance. That's all. You can't compare the two. Is Litecoin going to be the next Ripple? Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, my green screen's deleting part of my head. Yeah, yep. Look, this is the most unprofessional YouTube channel when it comes to crypto. I actually pride myself in being the most ghetto, unprofessional YouTube channel ever. Alright? I like that. I like being ghetto. I like it. You know, this is my setup right here. Alright? I'm not even kidding, guys. I trade on a laptop and two iPhones. It's pretty much how I do it. Either an iPhone and an iPad, or just... Most of the time, honestly, I trade with a laptop and an iPhone only. Alright? No fancy monitors. No fancy office with all these computers with all the color lights. I don't even know how to get that stuff. Honestly. Alright? Just a nice MacBook Pro. Alright? A good old-fashioned plunger. You know? A broken ring light from Walmart. One working light from my friend. Another non-working light from my friend. iPhone, that's all you need, man. People like to overcomplicate life. People like to overcomplicate life. Do you know my YouTube channel? For the first over a year, I did not even have a mic. And I didn't have a camera. I didn't show my face. I just spoke into the MacBook. And you heard the computer fan. I got like over 50,000 subscribers that way. Look, here's the thing. You don't have to be fancy in life. all right? You don't have to be fancy. In fact, I think it's cooler. I think it's way cooler to be ghetto and have a whole bunch of not nice stuff and be successful. I think that's so much cooler. So much cooler than having all this super fancy curved monitors all around your room so you can freak out, not know what the price is gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Now look, I know everyone has their own style. I'm not hating on people with fancy setups, all right? But I've always been in that mentality. When I was in high school, all my friends had jobs. I was doing affiliate marketing with my dad. We were making WordPress blogs, and I was making more money than my friends just sitting there on my couch at night watching Family Guy, eating a bowl of cereal, writing blog posts so I could affiliate market and make commission than my friends who are out here trying to be all, you know, working their stupid job and this and that. All right, the getaway, that's the best way. Yeah, I remember when Crypto Lifer said I should update my stuff. Look, he's right in a way. I mean, look, it depends on your view, right? It depends on your view. But having a fancy setup won't stop you from getting wrecked. Exactly. Have I ever gotten liquidated before? Yes! Oh man, in fact, live on stream, I've gotten liquidated. Do you guys remember? In fact, they turned there's an emoji in the Jason Casper Discord of my face when I got liquidated. I was wearing a Pikachu hat when it happened. I was singing the Pump song. Yeah, I've gotten liquidated on stream, man. Yeah, I've gotten liquidated before. Who hasn't been liquidated? Let's see. Oh yeah. Here, I'll show you. This is the emoji. The exact face that I made when I got liquidated that day. During the Pump song. Now, thankfully, look, I got liquidated, but I didn't lose a lot of money. And in fact, I actually made money on the trade. Okay? Look, if you know what you're doing with leverage, you're not going to get liquidated. And if you're stupid like me and you got liquidated, you should not be losing a lot of money on your liquidation. If you're getting liquidated for your full account, I'm sorry, but you're not even a trader. You are just a gambler. All right? You're just a gambler. Just a gambler, my man. All right. I can't find the clip. I don't know where that was, but I wish I could go back and watch that. All right. But when I was a newer trader, I lost a ton of money. We're talking back in 2019, 2018, were some of my biggest losses, tens of thousands, which at the time for me was a lot of money. All right. It was a lot of money for me back then, losing tens of thousands of dollars. And it forced me to make a decision. Every trader has to make this decision. All right, when you start out, I wish it wasn't true, but most likely you're going to get burned by the market. It's gonna really suck a lot. You're going to feel horrible about yourself. You're going to feel like a failure, and you're going to say, "Why did I do this? Why did I do that?" And then you realize, okay, either I'm going to do this or I'm not. If I'm going to do this, I have to do it right. And then you say, okay, how do I do this right? And you learn your risk management and you stay disciplined, okay? And then the other person is the person that learns the hard lesson, and then that's it. So you got to make that decision. Are you going to do it right or not? All right? Tony thinks I'll lean toward a more professional lifestyle when I'm old. I just can't see it, bro. I cannot see it, all right? I cannot see it. Even my dad, right? My dad, he's done well for himself in business. He's done very well. He's an entrepreneur. All right? He's better off than a lot of people, okay? He wasn't always. He used to work for the man, making like $18,000 a year. Sheesh. But if you saw him out in Walmart, you would think he was homeless, all right? You would think he was homeless. Shout out to my dad. He's my role model, all right? Appear like a failure, but deep down, you're crushing it. All right, guys, I have to head out. May the Lord Jesus bless you all, and may He bless your families. I pray everybody watching is blessed in many ways. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!